No.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, so this is the first episode of 2022.
Dang.
Dang.
It's been a long time.
Actually, we were supposed to release an episode, but I got sick.
Oh, shoot.
I mean, I'm recovered. My family is recovered, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But there's so many things other than the podcast that we've been working on.
oh yeah, that's true.
Like interning.
You mean you?
What do you mean me?
Because I was on a break.
Yeah, but anyways, both of us are interning under a White Stripe podcast, which is so exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
I don't even know how Hazel got in. I was just surprised. Joke. I was
wow.
like, Hazel's here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here to make things a little better.
Oh, wow.
With designing. I mean, if you can, I appear in the last episode of White Stripe podcast, and yeah, we chatted more about that. So it's not just Farsight podcast that we're busy with, but
Yeah.
you know, more
We have
collaborations.
other hobbies, you know. Well, kind of the same. It's just a different platform. Okay, so if you don't know what Farsight is all about, Farsight is just all about being a teenager. Well, for season 2. For season 2 and probably the remaining of the seasons or the rest of the seasons, it's just gonna be about us teens, both of us.
Yes,
Living
while we're still teens.
while we're still teens, because we're trying to make the most of it, and we're trying to learn from it. Trying to be just holy or like being set apart from regular weird teenage stuff.
Well, we still have things
Remaining
that
time as teenagers.
we still have things that we can relate with other people, of course.
Yeah.
But there are events and things that have happened in our lives that I wouldn't say are conventional. So if you want to listen,
It's still relevant.
it is
and-
still relevant.
And we're trying to make fun of it like in a very interesting way. Trying to like
Mhm.
be more reflective of our teenagehood through this podcast. Oh, that could be like another meaning for the podcast.
Yeah.
Trying to reflect more on the teenagehood and
Mhm.
what we can learn from it.
Yeah.
To start off this episode, as
Which
you can
is?
tell, we're very lost. We don't know what we're doing.
Oh my gosh.
But we're hoping
Mhm.
to talk about something. We actually just pressed record button and the hell with it. Just freestyle it.
Freestyle.
Before we started this episode or this recording, we were talking about change. Mostly change. Because of the pandemic.
Mhm.
I don't know if we talked about it the past few episodes.
Yeah, that's true. I think
I know we did.
talked about it in the first episode.
We did talk about the pandemic. Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
But I'm not sure about change itself.
Mhm.
If you could define change, what is it? Like, how can you define change?
Change. I don't know how to describe change because change itself, it's like I don't
It changes,
It changes. No, but for me, I'll answer this not long. Like, what changes to me is something that we go through. I
Puberty.
think every sure, it's something that we go through every single day, and
Yeah, true.
it's something that is very normal in this. I mean,
Yeah.
throughout everyone's lives. And if you don't accept change, then you will never develop and grow.
Ooh, okay.
Change.
Straightforward. Straightforward. I like that.
Yeah. How about for you? What has changed to you?
Change. Changes. It changes, and
No brainer.
no brainer. Yeah. But change for me is something you something that's hard to accept, but you need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Parang you need to do this in order to grow as a human being.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Change can be uncomfortable.
It's really uncomfortable. It's scary as well.
Yeah.
And that's something we all need to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, we don't want to. Some people do.
Yeah.
But some people are scared to change. If you don't change for a certain something or a certain, situation, then how would you be ready for that situation? Diba?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In a year, because we're gonna turn 19 this year.
Oh, my
In a year,
goodness.
we are gonna be not teens. We're gonna be 20.
Oh,
Oh
damn.
my goodness.
We're still gonna
And-
run the podcast, but,
Yeah.
being 20, I want...
It's so near but so far, and I feel
Yeah.
so immature still, and I'm not ready for that change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think who is, right? I think who is... I don't know who is ready for change. I don't know anyone who's ready to change.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, it takes time to be ready for change, but I know in a very common thing is that at the beginning, or like at some point when you start to try to accept change, it's you reject it at
Mhm.
first. Parang when you notice that you have to change but you're scared, that's our first thoughts. But throughout time, we give reasons for ourselves, and then that's when we know, like, oh, we're ready to change.
Yeah, so there's lots
It's
of
inevitable.
things. Yeah. There's lots of things that happened or things that changed this year compared to last year in 2021. So,
It's gonna be more hectic.
honestly, it's going to be so much more different. Cuz for me, the changes that are happening in my life specifically is the friends or the people around me
Mhm.
are starting to get more distant, in my opinion. So there are people that literally live hours away from me. So I can't really, physically see them, and not seeing them has been so difficult.
Mhm.
And that was a change
Now
that
you know how I feel.
no, yeah. So like, I can message them all I want, yeah. But the difference is that now it's like you've grown more distant, and I don't know. That's a change that I've never wanted to accept, and it's still something I'm accepting
Mhm.
because I don't know. These
'Cause
days,
you're growing.
I
growing
mean, other
older.
than that, is that people are becoming more busy. Everyone's getting older. Everyone is
The more you get older, the more responsibility you have.
exactly. So I don't know. That's for me one of the biggest changes. And so yeah, I guess these days just feeling more alone, feeling more
It's more like focus on yourself now.
exactly. I'm trying to become more busy with my own stuff. With internships, with studies, and all the things that you have to do at home. So that's the change that I'm going through, and that is different for me compared to last year.
Yeah,
So
cause
it's the people that I'm trying
last
to
year
do.
like friends, and then
It's
now
like friends and like check up
me.
on them, and then I'm like I check up on them, but like they're not responding. So it's
You
kind of
yeah.
sad.
I think we talked about like that specifically in our previous episodes about texting, because like you're not sure about what's on the other side of the screen.
Exactly.
So you
But
have to
yeah.
guess what they view.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I talked about that. Like, I try to check up on somebody, and then like I'm good. I'm like I'm good, and then they're like,
And wala. Like it just stays there,
it's
right?
like, oh, how are you? And then they're like, oh, I'm great. How about you? And like, oh, I'm great. And then
They don't
it ends
expound.
there. It ends
Yeah.
there.
I mean, there are things that change and some things that stay the same. So exactly.
Oh
I
yeah,
think that was the first episode.
but
How about for
yeah,
you?
for
What
me,
are things that
change.
changed compared to last year to
Oh
now?
yeah, for me, it's about more having it's about having more responsibilities to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure anybody out there can relate that responsibilities. Let's get them all. Joke. Gotta catch them all. No,
Bruh.
it's like the more you get, the more you age, the more responsibilities you have. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, Of course, there's a balance between like socializing with friends and yourself, but when it comes to responsibilities, it's something you need to prioritize because it kind of depends on and your life kind of depends on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't do this responsibility, it's your fault that it's your life is gonna be this way. And if you, it's like responsibilities like disciplines us in a way. I never, you know, I never thought I had so many responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm entering college. You're entering college.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually apply this year. So I
Yeah,
think
so like
that's a thing that I'm scared as well. Well,
yeah,
for me, that change.
I it happens talaga. Like it's really inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping for this year that last year because I was very irresponsible with my responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want talaga for this year is that I want to be more, you know, open-minded with my responsibilities. Like
Mm-hmm.
I want to plan out my life for this year. Like
Mm.
I want to plan out 5 years ahead of my life.
In
Like what can I
advance.
yeah, cuz like what best can we do, you know, than expect change?
Mm-hmm.
Cuz, sure there're going to be happy times, there's going to be disappointing times. And you need to be more prepared for the disappointing times than the happy times. If you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So like, expect disappointments so that you won't be disappointed when
Mm,
it comes. If I don't know if that makes sense, but
sure.
it's also about it's also about like building your life for me also. It's not about just
Mm-hmm.
expecting change for the next 5 years. It's also about what can I do
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna change the way I think, the way I see things, not in a bad way, but in a good way.
Yeah, you know what's interesting?
What?
So I had a conversation with my sister
Mm-hmm.
because we were kind of talking about like the difference of how a girl's mindset and a guy's mindset. But
Oh.
um my sister said like guys would tend to plan for um would plan for the bigger things and for like the
Mm-hmm.
future, while women
Time for the
usually
little things.
plan the little things. So I think for me that's really interesting because for me I don't really look at my life where I have to
You
plan.
know why? Because guys has more responsibilities.
Yeah. No, but like no, okay, but no.
I'm not
I
shading
know,
on girls.
I know.
I'm just saying you know, the pressure is more on the guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we have different mindsets.
Yeah.
So for us women, we really tend to pay attention to the little things, the things that are in the moment. But I think it depends on the person, honestly. But that's a conversation that we had
Mm.
because that's a thing. Why men and women work well together? It's because
They complement each other.
they complement each other exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, I honestly live in the moment, and whatever comes comes. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know,
Yeah,
like
I can vouch for that.
so for me, when change happens, it's very, I for me, I can accept it. I think
Mm.
depending on what it is, and I like change because I don't know, it's something I don't expect.
Mm.
And I mean, for you, you think of the things that will disappoint you. So when it comes, it's gonna,
Yeah, so like parang what can
you won't
I
be
do?
surprised.
Yeah, so that I can plan for it.
Exact. So like you can see the different mindsets that we have. I don't really plan, for my future in like 5 years, but I
Mhm.
do have a vision of what I
You
would
have the plan
want.
for you have a vision, but for the next day.
What I'm gonna eat, what
What
I'm
am I
gonna do.
gonna eat? The way is the
Yeah.
little things.
No, but honestly, that's what that's what I think, and that's a conversation I had with my sister.
Mm.
So I just find that interesting and something I wanted to point out because
Yeah.
for me, I can accept and adjust. That's the thing. I can adjust to change,
Mm.
but I don't know with you. Can you like, when change happens, can you adjust to it, or is
For
it something
me?
that you'll have like, a hard time doing?
We actually don't know how I react to change. It's like that's the thing. I expect change. That's why I don't really get surprised that much. Parang
Mm.
I reflect so much, like so much. You have no idea how much I reflect. The more like the more you observe life and the more you reflect on life, the more you'll expect things to happen.
Mm.
It's like the more you will get more learnings from something. If that makes
Mm.
sense. Parang the way I accept change. Of course, I need to. People can take change, you know, they can take change but not handle it.
They'll
Like
accept it, but they don't know how to go through it.
yeah. Parang they can accept change but they don't know what to do, what to like. Parang yun nga, parang live in the moment na. Oh, it has happened. Okay. Parang like you. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, I plan for the short term. The short term.
The short.
No, no man. Yeah, I just found that really interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Why? Because you can't
It's
do what I do. What I can do. This is the short
no.
term.
I can do that. There's a lot of guys who does that. Honestly, like parang they
Mm.
don't care about like the future. They just party. But
Party.
party.
That's all they do.
You know what I'm saying? There are people
Sure.
like that. So it's not really about, but mostly it does does revolve around man about like planning about the future. And I don't know, cause like as a person, like I want to be organized. I want to know what's gonna happen. I want to know what are the changes. I want to know how to accept them. I want to know like how to go around them. Parang
Mm.
if I accept this change, like parang if I can give an example, like losing friends, I could be like, okay, just plug the past
That's my
episode,
favorite episode.
losing friends. If you want to listen to that, you can listen to it. But for an example, losing friends, I expected to lose friends, because I know it's sad, but when you get to know it, parang, oh, we lose friends not because life is boring or like life is mean to us. It's sad to lose friends, but I realize when you lose friends, you learn from it. You learn from the people, or you learn from the friends you once had. Like, I like
Mm-hmm.
that kind of mindset thinking. Parang, what can I get from change? What can I get from this event or situation?
Mm-hmm. But you also have to like feel it then. Like you
Yeah,
have to always
exactly.
you can also process your emotions. It's not an
Yeah.
instant like, okay, I lost friends. Let's how can I do
Okay.
this?
Yeah,
But it's
exactly.
like it's an emotional
It's an emotional ride.
development
Yeah,
as
for
well.
sure. It's very interesting how fast can change.
Just how fast the night changes. Yeah.
How fast it can change. It's sad in a way, but also
It's normal.
it's normal.
I know we're talking about like gaining and losing friends in a way, but
Yeah,
one of the most
because
important
it was an example.
yeah, but it's one of the biggest lessons I've learned because without them, you get to see who you really are as a person.
Oh yeah,
Because
true, 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 true.
you experience their habits as well, the things that they do. You're
Yeah,
used to it,
that's true.
and
Because like
then when they're
friends,
not there, then who are you?
yeah, true. Because like friends is it's a huge part of change, and it's a huge part of yourself. And when you lose them, of course.
Oh wait. I have a different. Never mind. I have a different
Okay,
change.
Kaiti don't have to like. Okay, fine. Go.
No, it's a lighthearted one. What changed for me? That oh my gosh, the biggest lesson, especially during this pandemic, is having a dog. It's so hard, honestly. That change. Having this pandemic, you're at home all day.
Especially the dog is like big and
Is
hyper.
I we have a dog now, and it's so headache, and you don't know how much responsibility one creature demands. So that's one of the biggest changes that has happened, and it really changes your lifestyle. So I'd say that's one of the biggest changes. I There's lots of struggles with owning a dog. So many hardships. I swear, there's so much scars.
Dogs can really change the way you live. Cause
Literally.
I know dogs can help. There are dogs that help you live your life. Parang,
Like disabled for the disabled.
yeah, and for like the people who has mental health issues,
Mm.
it's like dogs are
I forgot what they're
actually
called.
one. Yeah,
So what I would advise someone who's going through change right now, especially change that is happening so fast, is just take it one step at a time because
true. It takes
we're
time.
you can be so overwhelmed by the things around you.
Yeah,
And honestly, in my place, there's so many things that I have to adjust to, and it gets so overwhelming where you just ignore it. Don't do that. Don't ignore the changes. You really have to face it and just
love
take
that.
it one step at a time. And
It's true. You know what
just learn
happens if
how
you
to
don't?
start. Why? What will happen?
You would actually, in a very serious manner, of taking the change in a very fast-paced way. There are many side effects. Like you wouldn't be able to process it well, so you wouldn't you know why am I holding a screwdriver?
I was like, what? New player has entered.
No.
That's so random.
So random, honestly. Okay, but yeah, to be serious about it, like parang you wouldn't know how to handle it if you take it very fast. And you would be surprised that it's like procrastinating, you know. Parang you're doing it fast but you're not learning anything.
Yeah, and your body shows it as well. Because when change
The
happens,
way you
it's
live.
like you're like a habit or like something that you really have to change in your schedule. Your body will honestly feel so sluggish and
And you
would
don't know
react differently.
what responsibilities you need to prioritize.
So I hope you enjoy this really chill episode, and I hope you go through us in this journey of change with the podcast, with the personal things that we are doing, including White Stripe Podcast, which you should check out
Yeah.
on Instagram and on Spotify.
We're also one of the co-hosts there, or just one of the.
We're the ones in the background.
Yeah.
We're the
one of
backup
auras.
dancers. Backup dancers. Yeah. So I just hope that you can stick with us in our social medias and listening platforms like
Sure. So we have Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcast. And for the social medias, we have Facebook, mainly Instagram, and that's all.
yeah. If you want to suggest any topic ideas, any questions, anything, go ahead and what?
DM us.
DM
at
us
Farsight Podcast.
or we can do a story. An
I'm
ID
not that
story.
fast, guys.
So I hope you enjoyed, and if you want more of us, you can listen to our past episodes from season 1. My personal favorite is Gaining and Losing Friends, and you can listen to our
She
first.
likes losing friends.
Oh my gosh, it's a good episode, but you can also listen to our first episode of season 2,
Which is.
I don't even remember. I don't even remember.
Wait, hold on. Let me check.
So we'll see you guys on
The far
side
of.
the moon. I don't know why to say it like that.
Yeah, you don't have to. You're not me to make those noises. But anyway, peace out.